Good to know that you are staying with us, and I tell you, you have not stayed in vain. We have a loaded package for you this morning on the press. You don't want to miss a single minute of it. Okay, like I assured you, we're just going to dive into our discussion segment because it is going to be real topical. You notice this morning we had a whole lot of news about the police, and we had stories about the police inspector general being grilled by the Senate over missing cache of arms, which up till now the Senate said they have not been satisfied with the explanation. We also see a lot of trending stories generating from the police, especially this business of tenure elongation. Why is the IGP still in office till now? The IGP, Egbetokun, ought to have retired after reaching the mandatory time and session in September 2024. But there's a rider to it, with the immediate past president, President Buhari, enacting a law which only favored just the office of the IGP. Now we have some human rights activists wondering how good and how useful is that for Nigeria and for the police. Another ongoing discussion has been this business of state police, state police, state police. Should we or shouldn't we? We delved into it as much as we could on this program, and we had some guests to deal with it. But today we actually have a law enforcement titan. We have the chief of chiefs of police. We have somebody who is going to give you the direct dissection of the issues. In the studio with me this morning, please help me make welcome, is Sir Dr. Mike OKIRO, CFR, MNI, MPR. IGP, sir, you are welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure meeting you too.
It's an honor for you to be in the studios this morning. Like we promised you on KAFTAN television, you will always hear it from the horse's mouth, as we say. Let me tell you a little bit about the former IGP. Sir Mike OKIRO was the 13th Inspector General of Police in Nigeria. He is what you might call a seasoned cop. He's a policeman of policemen. He was also the chairman of the Police Service Commission. In fact, when it was created, I think he was a premier chairman. He is a policeman with knowledge. He joined the Nigerian police force immediately after his one-year mandatory National Youth Service Corps. And today, he is the first National Youth Service Corps graduate to have occupied the exalted seat of the #1 position in the police, the Inspector General of Police. Not just that. I'm saying that for those of you who say, oh, education is a scam. You're missing the very top. Not just that. He also is a policeman who has gone through the ranks from where he started off up until the #1 position purely by merit. Only one position was skipped, and that's the position of AIG, and that was when he had double promotion on the basis of his meritorious performance. IGP OKIRO is a no-nonsense cop. Let me tell you a little bit about the time he spent as a police commissioner in Lagos. As at that time, the state of Lagos was completely under siege. Now, can you imagine keeping a state like Lagos under siege? You have to be a bad criminal. And there was this armed robbery gang that was, kept everybody in fear. Police commissioners would come in and they would go and nobody could unravel it. In came then Commissioner Mike OKIRO. And on his first day in office, he announced, I am going to catch that gang and rid Lagos State of that criminal. Everybody was like, In no time at all, he paraded the suspect and his gang. You know what? This young man was the son of a very senior police officer. The others were doing esprit de corps in a negative sense. IGP OKIRO does not look at anybody's face. If you are the son of an IGP, you're a criminal, he'll apprehend you. And that was how Lagos was freed from that ugly situation under his tenure. No wonder he rose on merit to become Nigeria's Inspector General of Police, not on grounds of tribalism. Under his tenure, Nigeria saw a lot of reforms. You know, before he became the IGP, we always associated AK-47 guns with the criminals. Oh, criminals will come in with their AK-47s and the police will be meeting them with their little rifles and pistols. He insisted the Nigeria police must carry AK-47s as well. Those are the AK-47s you see with them today. He also asked for an increase in their salaries. He put it out to the federal government that, look, policemen do very well when they are abroad and don't do very well here. Why? Because of the conditions. He got better conditions for policemen, had them, you know, with the owner-occupier housing scheme, a whole lot. Now, on the civilian side, he was very, very interested in the safety of Nigerians. He ensured, number one, that community policing, he's the architect behind it. Today, you see policemen living in the midst of civilians. It wasn't so before his tenure. So many reforms, but we now want to look at the trending events going on in the nation. Let me just start, first of all, before I delve into this tenure elongation. IGP, sir, what is your take on state police? Some people are agitating. Oh, they want state police. State police will help find all the criminals in the nooks and crannies of the other places. Other people are saying, don't try it. Nigeria, don't try it. Because if the governors today are pocketing CPs, federal policemen, you can imagine the mayhem they're going to unleash when they now have state policemen in both pockets. What's your take, IGP, sir?
Thank you very much, Mikky. The state police is an issue that Nigeria had gone through before. We had local government police, we had regional police.
Right.
When Gowon came into power, he felt having balkanized, having a state and local government police was not the issue. He wanted a unified police force. That will not have Nigeria police force, right, which is created, the name created by Constitution Section 214. Now, we had local government police. If you go back to history, around 1964-65, Operation Wait here in the West, where the police was used to foment trouble. The police was used to stamp down on opposition parties. That was what brought the idea of Gowon making a unitary police force.
Right.
Now, if you have police, state police now, like countries like America they have even local government. In America, just like you can have a police force.
Right.
This means that in America, people are allowed to carry arms.
Right.
So you can only just need like a CAC, just register, sometimes becomes a police for you.
Right.
But not so in Nigeria. In Nigeria, if you have a state police, like I said earlier on, the governor is going to manipulate the police. The governor is going to decide who should do this, who should that, the police. And the governor will use the police to run out. If I say police, the opposition to run out of the states. If you look at how the governors are behaving now, we have a federal police. Can you imagine how they behave with the police under them? Secondly, the police said that they cannot owe the police salary for 1 month.
Right.
That the governors in Nigeria, some say in Nigeria, that owe their civil servants, their teachers,
right,
the nurses. You can't afford to owe the police. You can equally know that the threat to the police is more than the civil service of any state.
Right.
Now, to owe the police, nobody can imagine it if one state owes the police. And I was thinking that the clamor for police, for state police, because people feel that police have not been doing very well. You know, they feel that if you have state police, the governors will be able to maneuver and move around the police do well. No, it's the other way around. If you have the state police, the governors who can use them, those cannot use them. You see that in Nigeria, a situation where some states will be so criminally manipulated that people will not want to go there because of insecurity. I was clamoring for something different, in as much as they feel that police is so that the federal government is getting too heavy for them to bear.
Yes.
It's not easy to quit the police. The threat to the police is more than the civil service.
Right.
To pay the police salary, equip them, give the welfare and everything, the federal government cannot do it.
Right.
Because the federal government has more problems that they can solve.
Right.
The police is only an issue. You have defense, you have education, you have works, you have agriculture, and so on and so forth. So if you look at the budget of Nigeria, of the government, you cannot give 100% to police. Because if the budget of Nigeria,
right,
if you want to equip police as it should be, the entire budget of Nigeria will. Let me give you an example.
Right.
When I Commissioner of Police Lagos, the mayor of Cleveland visited Nigeria.
Right.
He was told about Commissioner of Police Lagos. He came to me to give me the key to the city of Cleveland.
Right, Ohio, USA.
Yes. And I said, sorry, I can't take this alone. It's for Nigeria police, it's for Lagos police. I invited the press to be there.
Right.
A policeman asked the question, how and what type of police have in US? The man said, in US, every county has its own police. He has his own police. Cleveland has a population of 30,000 people.
Right.
He has his own police. And that police had 10 helicopters. Can you imagine?
In a
city of 30,000 has a police force and 10 helicopters.
Right.
10 helicopters alone. Not talk of other things.
Right.
If you look at the population of Nigeria, divide by 30 and multiply by 10.
Right.
That tell you the number of helicopters police are going to have in Nigeria.
Yes.
If you do that, only helicopters take the whole budget of Nigeria.
Right.
The point I'm trying to make is that the police need so much that the federal government cannot afford. So, my take is that let's have regional police. There are six zones.
Right.
Northeast, northwest, north central, southeast, southwest, south. Each zone shall have its own police force. But let it be federal police. Or each of the zones will be headed by a DIG. Nigeria police can have one IG, 7 DIGs.
All right.
The 7 DIG should be with IG. In case the IG is away in the first quarters, that DIG will deputize for him.
Right.
The other CDIG will be in charge of deputized zones.
Right.
They can post men within the zone. Commissioners of police posted within the zone.
Right.
Also, the commissioner of police can also be posted outside the zone.
Right.
But other ranks from constable to AC should be within the zone.
Okay.
That, in as much as that clamor, for example, if let me use south, for example, you can post somebody from Cross River to Akwa Ibom, or from Cross River to Edo, like that. You know, they can rotate. Reason being that one, the culture is the same. Language, for Southeast, for example, language is the same. They know their people and the people know them. I said, in as much as one federal police who cannot post a constable from Kano to Bayelsa, he cannot swim. He cannot perform very, very well. But if a constable from River State to Bayelsa, it's with the same place.
Yes.
So I was talking about regional police,
right,
as against state police.
Right.
But that case, the regional police, the clamor for state police will die down. So the regional police equipped by the governors will buy equipment. Now it's here that a governor bought 50 vehicles for police. A governor bought APC for police. With that, the governors within the zone, the zone, can contribute money and equip their police.
Right.
And take out the police. When the federal government bring the personnel,
yes,
and pay the personnel,
right,
the governors equip the police there.
That sounds like a real workable model, and like you said, that will also douse the attention of those wanting state police, and will also take us away from the dangers inherent in state police in a democracy today where the governors are super powerful, ruling, over the people instead of, doing the leadership. Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful suggestion. I believe people in government are listening. Don't forget, numbers will appear on that screen and you can participate in this discussion in the course of time. Yeah, those are the numbers there, and in the course of time I'll be expecting your telephone calls on this topic. Now, I wanted to ask you as well, IGP sir, it happened here in Nigeria that at a time we were having, all these, like right now, let me even go to what is happening now before we go to historical times. We have a situation whereby the Inspector General of Police is now being called to the National Assembly to account for missing 300s of thousands of firearms in police custody. Now, what does that say for my security? Because I'm wondering, if those are out there, how safe am I? And the Inspector General has severally turned down the invitation. He only went yesterday, and the explanation the Senate said he gave is even not satisfactory.
It's this missing arms. Didn't they miss you one day? I don't know the period they're looking at.
Right.
Normally a long
2018 period. Upwards.
Yes. Normally a long period. Because I was there.
Right.
They don't ask you to come and account for a gun that got lost last year.
Yes,
it's normally a period of time.
Yes, 2018 upwards.
IG might not have been there at that time.
That's true.
And also, you see, it's a combination of events. Sometimes police stations were attacked, and arms were carted away. Sometimes policemen were killed in action, and arms were carted away. All these, they add up to make up for the number of missing rifles. Sometimes police gets burnt, the arms are damaged. Things cause the loss and damage of arms. No IG took off arms to go and sell somewhere. So it's a period of time.
Okay.
Sometimes it's even late. They make it yearly so to go the IG in office at that time.
Right.
To be able to account for it.
Right.
Now, IG was I appointed IG 1 or 2 years ago to account for arms that got lost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's no way we can do it.
Yeah.
There's no way. We look at records and give what the records say. That's any question asked him, we might be able to answer because it's not there.
Right.
So what I'm saying, this inventory of arms should be done yearly.
Right.
So the officer in office at that time should be able to account for what happened when he was in office.
Right.
Not what happened after.
2018 when he was not even up to that rank. So tell Nigerians your suggestion is, one, the inventory should be done on an annual basis.
Yes.
And then 2, each person who is the Inspector General of Police at that time should give account for whatever has been discovered missing under his tenure.
Yes, you should account for it, and if there is any punishment, you should bear it.
Right.
You cannot bear punishment for what happened before he even came into office.
Right, I'm glad you landed on that point.
The punishment cannot be retrospective.
Right, I'm glad you landed on that point, because what's the point of you coming to give an account if you cannot bear the punishment, if there is punishment for your inability to give account for them? So I'm happy you said to Nigerians that he should bear the punishment, because that's what we're having in Nigeria now. Crime without punishment. And a lot of times, sorry to say, it's we Nigerians doing ourselves. We discover that the policemen will suffer, go out, do surveillance, gather intelligence, do everything possible to apprehend dangerous, deadly killers and criminals, and at the end of the day, some very important big shot will phone. Hello, that's my son, that's my relative, that's my important personality, and before you know it, that's the end. The person, is let out of police custody. What's your comment on that? Because these things are happening.
That is very bad. I'm happy you mentioned a case when I was Commissioner of Police Lagos involving the son of a senior police officer. I played a very fast one. When I talk about it, I say, yes, Mikky, OKIRO, you did it. I invited this boy, the son of a senior police officer.
Right.
The boy told his father that I wanted him. The father left Abuja to Lagos. Brought him. I just gave him red carpet reception. For a senior officer.
Right.
I left my office. I said, Doctor, when I heard he was coming, I went downstairs, welcomed him to my office. He said, "What I said, sir?" I said, "Yes, sir. I want to ask, what is that why you came? You don't need to have come. It's your son. If I told you that your son is here, you don't need to fly from Abuja to come and see me. Just I'll take care of him. It's my son also. I just cajoled the man. I saw him off the airport. Later, the permit to come for the plane. I got the boy, detain the boy. They said the boy. When they're calling me from, I called IG. I said, this man's son committed this offense.
Right. Offenses.
And he threatening me. I just said, I should do my work. That you go to query him. If he told you, I should tell you, go to query him.
Right.
I did my job.
Right.
Without caring. So if somebody commits an offense, no matter his IG or police officer should not take telephone call. People call to me though. Oh, I committed offense. I say, let me talk to IPO. I don't normally talk to a high person. Let me talk to IPO. I asked IPO. So person is I did first. What happened? After the matter, I said, I tell him, sorry. Let's go and face the music. You committed the offense.
Right. You go and face the music if you committed the offense.
I had to talk to people on top. I thought if the IPO tells me, okay, sir, I said, okay, if you tell me type of offense, I said, it's a baby offense. I said, get the investigation.
Right.
I don't my hand.
Yeah. Fantastic. If Nigeria had 10 of you, we'd probably be out of the woods security-wise. Well, what's the involvement of the police in the current ongoing insurgency? Should I call it war in quotes that we're facing now? Because as at that time, you know, it wasn't so much of this terrorism, Boko Haram, seizing of local governments and all that. How much is the police involved in it? Because most times we hear of the Nigerian army.
Yeah, the police is involved in it, but somewhere we missed the link. When Boko Haram started, I had a very effective intelligence force.
Right.
And when I came into police, when I came in as IG, we had the CIB. The CIB not doing much. I found when we were young.
IGP, sir, please, what's CIB?
Criminal Investigation
Branch, okay.
A bureau, whichever one. So, when we were young officers, what they call a special branch, the police.
Right.
They were doing intelligence, but for me, we were government slagged off special branch from the police. And created NSA. NSA, National Security Organization.
Okay.
Got away from police.
Right.
So that informations gotten were not part of the police. That was why Matasine succeeded in Kano. Investigation showed that intelligence branch NSO had information about Matasine. Kept it to themselves. Not give to the police. That was how Matasine was able to succeed. So because of that, police now went outside to create SIB and CIB. But not very effective. When I became IG, I said, cannot operate without intelligence. And I gave an example. I called the press. Can I give an example? When I created the intelligence section of the police, I said the intelligence section of Nigeria is skewed. I give an example. And a director of SS personnel in Mikky will get an information. A right to the an operative right to the director in Mikky. Director Mikky will write to the director of SS in Abuja. Who will now write to NSA. NSA will now write to IG. All the time now, they're gone. Before IG now take it back to form DPO do Mikky. The harm had been done.
Right.
I said, what they should do, they should work, there should be a synergy between the police DPO and operative DSS in Mikky. If you provide information from him, when you take an can now write a quarter, say, go get information, these actions have taken so far. And I propose that the conference in NSC's office. I propose that. That's what we work. And I created the section Nigeria Police Force.
So please just hold your thought right there. We seem to have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, beautiful morning to you, Mikky.
God bless you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Thank you very much for your wonderful time. And we pray may Almighty God continue to protect you for servicing your nation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much once again, sir. Let me quickly throw one or two questions regarding the system that we are on now. The situation is not recommendable, to be honest with you, even though the police are doing pretty well in some areas, but when it comes to leadership, sir, you are there.
Sir, you are there too. Sir, please let me know your name and where you're calling from, remember?
Yeah, SMB calling from Lagos. And then from the presentation Mikky presented you, it shows, of course, Mikky know the wonderful job you've done when you are in service. But what we are experiencing today, believe in me, is not recommendable. Sir, if you never give space, could Egbetokun or Novo be able to become in that position? That's number one question. If Novo did not give space, could Hafiz Ringing will at least come to that position? And if Ringing did not give space because of retirement issue, could Rico be there? That's the question. Does that mean that the other police officers cannot handle that position? Is that the message that the leadership of the nation is sending to us? Then look at the recruitment issue in 2018, where the former president said each and every year 10,000 police constables will be put into the force. Believe in me, up to date, I think it was only 20,000. They were there in court between the Police Service Commission and the IG. Does that mean that we are going to keep on wasting our strength and energy toward the wrong direction? Police Service Commission was established by the Constitution. Likewise, the Nigerian Police Force was established by Act. So, what is wrong with us? The power to do. Instead of the nation, instead of the patriotism that we're supposed to experience, to encourage the killing youth to have mind to be in the force. Are we for real? I mean,
so what's your name again?
What do you think we should do to get things right?
So we didn't get your name.
SMB from Lagos, man.
SAB.
Yes, man. SMB from Lagos.
SAB from Lagos. SAB, I must tell you, I call this call brilliant. This is a brilliant call. You actually took the topic right out of us. We were chit-chatting just in between the break. That's exactly what we're going to examine in depth. So really stay on with the program. This business of tenure elongation for only the IGPs, that is affecting even recruitment. Thank you very much. Not to worry. We will handle it very well. We have the best person here who will handle it. Thank you. Okay, he has even jumped the gun. Okay. But let's just what we're going to do. Let's handle it piecemeal. Let me, I broke your thoughts. Continue with what you were thinking. Then we'll just simply go into that topic because it's a hot button this morning.
Of course, what we're talking about again.
Right, we were talking about a situation whereby this sharing of intelligence, such that
yes, right. So I found out without it, you can't do much.
Right.
So what I did, I created intelligence section in the Nigerian Police Force.
Right.
And made an AIG in charge.
Right.
Under DIG for CIG. So they did, and I gave them special training. I trained them in Spain. I trained them in America, even CIA. I trained them there.
CIA?
Yes.
Wow.
They were well trained.
Right.
And they achieved a lot. They achieved a lot. I thank God for that. At the time they came up, River State was in a mess. Kidnappers. Kidnappers. So I got 100 of them put to River State. within 2 months did something.
Right. We have another caller, sir. Sorry. Right. Morning. Yeah, turn down the volume on your radio, on your television, because I can hear the whole back. I can hear myself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Right. Go ahead. Your name, where you're calling from, and your contribution.
I'm just coming across what is happening on the television now. I don't know what the topic is.
Okay, so keep watching your television. You'll get to know the topic. We're soon going to be talking about the tenure elongation for the IGP. Thanks for calling. Okay. I think what's going to happen, let's just switch that topic.
Okay.
So let's just go on a very short break. We're going to come back in just a moment. After that, please, we're going to be talking extensively about the business of tenure elongations for the IGP and the effect, trickle-down effect on Nigeria police force as well as on Nigeria itself. And the numbers will be up on your screen. Make sure you participate in the discussion. In the meantime, just stay with us.
In the beginning, God created a beautiful world.
3, 2, 1. Action.
And that's why, at KAFTAN Television,
we imagine a beautiful world.
We are not just bragging.
We blaze the trail in broadcasting. And it is about you.
At KAFTANTV, broadcasting is not just about information, education, and entertainment.
It's an aggregation of all you need to know in Nigeria
And around the world to create signal.
At KAFTAN Television, we have all it takes to be on top in broadcasting.
Our mission is simple: to project Africa in a truthful yet positive manner.
Wait, we're coming to you in style.
Here we are, starting from September.
Look at what the facts are.
And as you say on KAFTAN TV, imagine a beautiful world.
Glad you could stay with us. We're diving straight into the topic, which even callers have taken up. So we are not going to mince words today on it. Okay, the numbers will soon be on your screen and you can participate. And like I told you earlier on, we have the Nigeria's number one law enforcement officer and a titan and a guru at policing, talking about Nigeria's 13th indigenous Inspector General of Police in the person of Sir Dr. Mike OKIRO, right here in the studio to tackle these issues. Okay, let me read something to you here so that we can delve into it here. It says that the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, lamented in October, 4 months ago, that some soldiers and police officers were selling weapons to bandits. It also says the 2024 Global Terrorism Index and the Fragile State Index 2024 rates Nigeria 8th out of 163 countries and 15th out of 179 countries, respectively. This situation demands high performance instead of tenure elongation to serve narrow political and primordial interests. We already have a caller. Oh, I lost him. Okay, do well to call back, please. Okay, why are we saying this? Because we notice a very, very surreptitious but unpalatable trend that crept into the Nigerian polity in the year 2020 under the immediate past presidency of President Muhammadu Buhari. Good morning. Make it snappy. We have not even hit the nitty-gritty yet. Turn down the volume on your television. Have you done that?
Yes.
Right. Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Udo.
Udo, good morning. Calling from Uyo?
Good morning, man. Yes.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate what you are doing. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Udo.
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry that I have to discuss this issue here with you. I want to recall that in the January this year, the president increased the salary to the police 25 to 35%. And from that period till December, all the retirees in Nigerian police, their cash was dropped by DTAH. Continue to improve upon the suffering of the retirees in the Nigerian police force. No payment has been made to them.
Wow.
We've written to Accountant General of the Federation, no response.
Okay.
We've written to the Chairman of the Police Service Commission, no response. We've written to the IG, no response. The arrears of 25 to 35% salary to the retirees has not been paid. But it has been implemented in September this year. Please help us to look into this matter. Police are suffering. Retirees are suffering. They are dying every day.
Thank you very much. That is not nice to hear at all. Right. Thank you for calling. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. I can barely hear you. That's that one. Do well to call back. Well, we'll address that later. Please, let's just tell you, because like we were saying, that they now had a law. Whereas there's already a police service commission and rules of engagement for the police, and we now found that there's a 4-year tenure elongation starting from 2020, introduced by President Buhari, such that only the IGP will be allowed to increase his tenure. Now the AIGs, DIGs under him will now be asked to retire. So those who ought to aspire to that position will be asked to leave. He will remain in office, and like you've seen, the spiraling effect 5 years later is boomeranging in the faces of Nigerians that, look, we are not even able to recruit just because that one office has to be occupied. What happens when an IGP is appointed at the age of 56? Because you have to have gone very far in policing to attain to that office. If you're 56, 57 and made the IGP, then you serve out your mandatory years and then add another elongated tenure. What happens next? Let's hear from this caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Good morning. Are you there?
Yes.
Your name, where you're calling from, your contribution, sir. Oh my goodness, network. You've increased the tariffs. Give us the network. Let's get our calls. Anyway, so much for that. Now, we've noticed that a civil rights activist, Sowore, has picked loopholes in the current situation, especially as concerns Egbetokun, because the figures, the numbers, the position is not bright at all. So if in this situation you are being asked to extend your tenure, why should that be? And now when he asked, he said, listen, it shouldn't be legal for you to continue because there's already an act for the policeman. He was picked up and arrested. Now, the police have a regulation 307, is it, that says that you, a policeman serving, you are not permitted in that case to use your high office to apprehend, detain, arrest, and hold somebody who is expressing his personal view. So let's hear from the lead counsel for Omoyele Sowore, Barrister Mustafa. Let's hear what he has to say about that regulation. Please, let's hear the barrister.
There is a man. Firstly, he was invited by a message that was sent to his phone on WhatsApp. He left his home, traveled all the way from America, came to Nigeria, and went and walked to the headquarters of the Nigerian police and presented himself to them for questioning. Mr. Sowore was charged in 2019 with trumped-up charges for treason in this country. For over 3 years, he stood the rigors of a full trial until he was acquitted by the AGF, who found merit in the fact that the charges were trumped up and should never have been in the first place. If a man could stand trial for an offense whose result or conviction in is a likely death sentence or life imprisonment, what is the instant charge that he will not stand trial for? Where we all know that the instant charge is both aberrational, illegal, and an attempt to persecute a Nigerian for speaking truth to power. There is a 16-count charge filed against Mr. Sowore in court today, all centered on his challenge on the illegal occupation of the office of the IG by the present occupants. Section 367 of the police regulations prohibits the filing of a charge of this nature by a police officer who is using the instrument of his office as a tool of settling personal vendetta. The said section 367 of the police regulations prohibits the IG from using his office. This is an abuse of prosecutorial powers by the police. This charge, we repeat, should never have been in the first place, and this charge must be withdrawn by the AGF. We will ensure that we raise the appropriate petitions to the office of the AGF. Section 174 of the Constitution vests in the AGF the power to prosecute and undertake all criminal prosecutions in the country in the AGF. This is a clear abuse of such powers, and the police has no right or reason to file the instant charge in court. We have no doubt, we have full confidence that we are ready to go through the rigors of the instant charge, because we know that in the long run it will go like the ones before them. It's all charade, it's all a facade, and it should never have been in the first place. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Yes, that was Barrister Abubakar Mashal giving us all his, his take on that section of the police regulations. And to also tackle that, our caller, you've been very patient hanging on the line. I didn't want to lose you because of network. That's why I said do hold on. Please go ahead. Your name, where you're calling from. Let's have your take.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
I'm calling from Abuja.
Abuja, right.
About this tenure education.
Right.
Is the warfare policy in Nigeria. The power given to the president is too much. If you want to elevate anybody's power, it shouldn't anybody in service. It should be more than 6 months or 1 year. What if the person dies? Won't there be any replacement? You are depriving other qualified officers of that position. Other presidents have started. General Buratai was there for years. The National Assembly did not say anything about it. So it's high time the National Assembly will come to their responsibility. Let us do the needful at the right time. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for your patience. He really held on. Please, let me allow the Inspector General of Police here to please let us know, the position on why this is going on and should it be going on.
Thank you very much. I think it's the wrong terminology. It's not tenure elongation, but appointment.
Appointment.
The IG is appointed for 4 years.
Right.
And it's good for the IG, it's good for the Nigerian police force, it's good for Nigerians too. Let me tell you why. The IG, I was a police officer.
Right.
Before I became IG, and retired.
Right.
At the age of 60, which was mandatory.
Right.
The law says, civil service rule says, every civil servant after serving for 35 years or at 36 years of age, whoever comes first. That procedure is adopted in the entire police force, including IG.
Right.
But unfortunately, what is included is a question mark. IG could be removed any time.
Right.
When 35 years service or 6 years of age. Sometimes we do the right thing because of political intervention. IG is removed. Let me give some few examples. An IG removed because police officers went on strike. Apparently, because of strike in Nigeria. Have you ever removed any governor because workers went on strike? Have you ever removed any minister or commissioner because workers went on strike? Have you removed any head of service, any head of any institution because workers went on strike? Almost IG be removed because and after removing the IG, he now did what you're supposed to do. That's to put the strike. So see, IG are nothing at all. Nobody can come and remove IG. Another boss holding sway in old Bender.
Right.
The president met IG. My friend, have you arrested Anani? The IG said no. If you did it, IG was removed. Have you had criminals in Nigeria? When was that being taken away? The IG posted a police commissioner from a state to another state. The president confronted him. They confronted him. Well, I'd like to remove the commissioner. The guy just said that commissioner is not doing very well. That's can't wave in that place. Want to bring him back. 2 days later, the commissioner not brought back. The IG was removed. I mean, the position of IG was like you cannot be sure. Even if I do the right thing, can be removed. The place can wake up one morning and say IG gone. So when I was IG,
right.
Any moment I look at the news, I go and get thank God. We couldn't be any news at all. So the IG was a dangerous species in the Nigerian police force. So I went through that and thank God. Only very few of us were fortunate to have had 5 years or 6 of age as IG. That's why they move anyhow. Not for any reason that they committed any crime or did anything wrong. So when I was Chairman Police Service Commission, I looked at it. The section of the police of the acts that created Police Service Commission, section 4 also, say you can formulate policies for the benefit of the Nigerian police force.
Right.
I need to note to the president rely on that section of the law that IG should be appointed or do 4-year term, a tenured office that cannot be removed anyhow.
Right.
And again, if I to be removed, if I done anything wrong, it will be 2/3 majority of the Senate.
Through what?
2/3 majority of the Senate.
Okay. 2/3 majority.
That gives the stability to work. To work.
Right.
And apart from that also, I had no tenure. Some IG stayed 6 months, some 1 year, some 2 years. I was lucky, I was among the people that stayed 2 years or so. I finished my term. But they within those 2 years, the 4th year I have the budget, I had the full budget, I have the budget. So I couldn't achieve much. And also the policy in Nigeria could accomplish some assault.
Right.
Somebody brings a program where he goes, his successor will not follow it. So the program, you mentioned some of this are doing here. The others are in the pipeline. Before I left, my successors dumped them. Right. So the police was suffering, they will not continue to attend the police programs. See, if I have 4 years, I can say, okay, 4 years, within 4 years, this is what I've achieved for the police.
Right.
So, lots of rebuild for the Nigerian police force. That the idea is a tenured office. That within your time, you achieve what you want to achieve for the people. Before this, the police had no problem at all. Also, thirdly, for Nigerians, if I have a stable police force, continued tenure of the IG for 4 years,
right.
it can be sure that if this security and so on and so forth will be handled properly, because the police is the lead agent in international security. So if the police is unstable, leadership of the police is unstable, we cannot achieve anything at all.
Right. Well, sir, based on what you've said, though, it still extends and kind of elongates beyond what you are saying. Okay, what you want is a 4-year term.
Yes.
But the politicians have made it such that it's 4 years with an end position in sight.
What do you mean by that?
Egbetokun has been given an extension that has a timeline of 2027. Which will now add about 6 plus something years. You understand? Instead of 4. So if it's going to be like a 4-year tenure, isn't the tenure like from the Constitution, from the day you were appointed, then complete this 4? But not you coming to say, okay, now I am going to implement the 4 years when you've done 2.5. You understand? So at the end, it's going to sit for 7 or 8. But that's what is happening in this case.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
You don't see anything wrong because you are not giving.
I'm not going. It's not for me. It's for Nigerians. I'm talking about from Nigerians.
Okay.
Though because I was there, right. I can use the benefit of my experience.
Yes.
To tell you what you don't know.
Right.
You see? Now, law, legally.
Right.
If you make a law now,
yes,
you cannot backdate it.
Right.
It's taking effect from today.
Right.
If Egbetokun was there for a year or 2,
you're right,
and then the bill is now signed and approved by the National Assembly,
right,
it will take effect from 24th, but they pray from today to the 12th. Right. They pray from 12th February. IG going to stay 4 years.
Right.
If I was there before, it's immaterial. The man appointed today stay 4 years.
Right.
But not say because I've been there for 3 years, there for only 6 months.
Right.
No.
So
what I'm saying, you go there for whatever number of years you have stayed as IG. A law has a bill that is approved and passed by National Assembly.
Yes.
With a faithful Sunday, every day will take 4 years.
Yes, but the bill was passed in 2020. That law was passed in 2020. It's that law that they're relying on. So it's not like it's relying on a new law. So that being the case, you know what I'm saying? If a law was passed in 2020, you came in 2023, you were made the IG. 2.5 years down, you invoke the 2020 law and ask him to stay on to 2027.
If the law was made in 2020,
yes,
it was not implemented.
It was implemented. The last IG under Buhari benefited it.
At the time it was appointed. It was appointed. Naturally, that was a good appointment.
Right.
Because I joined the police as a cadet ASP after my youth service.
Right.
I'll give you an appointment letter. All like that. We are promoted from ASP to DSP with signal.
Right.
Everything signal.
Right.
When I promoted IG, I was written a letter by the president.
Right.
I appointed IG. So I don't know whether it was written a letter was appointed 2020 or whatever. But if you written a letter, it became IG.
Right.
If that law of 220 was implemented,
yes,
was it carrying the letter of appointment? I've not seen the letter of appointment. But was it part of the letter of? They say Egbetokun, you have been appointed IG to the 4 years. I don't know if it was that appointment letter.
I see what you mean.
Yes.
Okay, so what will happen? I'll struggle and bring Egbetokun to this studio to come and let us know exactly the contents of his letter of appointment. But in the meantime,
what you see is what you know. Americans say. What you don't see, you never can say.
Right.
All you know is that Egbetokun became my IG social time. All you again that social date you have not given 4 years.
Wow.
That's what you know. If a little later, you didn't know that.
Okay.
So what I know is what I'm talking about. I was appointed and they will give me a treatment for social date 4 years appointment.
Okay, so we're really winding down. So let me just take a call. Hello, good morning, caller. Morning. Hello, good morning. Right, sir. All right, Udo, you've made your point. He's going to handle it, please. You've made your point. Okay, so there's another, because we're really short of time. We have another one, Regulation 367. Let's have that regulation right there for the purpose of easy viewing. It says here that let me see if we can have it. Yes, Regulation 367 of the Nigeria Police Regulation provides that no police officer shall institute any legal proceeding in his own personal interest or in connection with matters arising out of his public duties. You notice that the current IGP now, even though, like you said, he has been legally backed up to have the appointment for as long as it is. Now, a civil rights activist is, picking loopholes in it and saying, no, that shouldn't be legal. Based on this provision, he picked, knowing this position, he picked him up and had him detained and even asked that for him to come out on bail as a very senior civil servant who lives in a house of 100 million naira should come as his shorty. You would have thought that at this material time, EFCC should surround a civil servant living in 100 million naira house. Such person should be detained by the EFCC. But the court asked that should be his shorty, and the IGP had Sowore picked up. Let's listen to what Omoyele Sowore said when the exit from the court. Yes.
One leg of the arguments for today. The police came, charged me for offenses that were contrary to the police service rules 367, which says that no police officer should use the police office to carry out personal vendetta. That's pretty much how that was described. But the IG of police, the illegal IG of police, I'm repeating it here again today, Egbetokun, is doing just that. We are here to end the charlatanism that has become Nigeria and public office and public service. So I'm following the police back to the hotel they provided for me. They call it hotel in there because tomorrow the judge will give a final ruling on bail. Even though it should never have happened that somebody of my status, a presidential candidate twice in this country, who, if elections were properly held, I'll be president today with full immunity, is being told that I will jump there for offense of cybercrime. I even have another trial coming out on February 4th for the same offense. But this is the country we found ourselves. I'm going to leave you with lawyers, very competent, radical, tireless, indefatigable lawyers to brief you with the rest. Yes, go ahead.
National and international human rights activist Omoyele Sowore reacting to his arrest, detention, imprisonment and the bail conditions for insisting that the IGP's tenure is not savory and is elongated. Now, we have in the studio a very great benefit in the person of Sir Michael OKIRO, because Sir Michael OKIRO, apart from being Nigeria's top cop, has an LLM and also has an LLB. He has a master's degree in law, so he can interpret the law, he can also enforce the law, he can also, determine the best thermometer for Nigerians, because he also served as the chairman of the Police Service Commission. So he has a full spectrum before him. So let's have your spectrum and your take on the provisions and the arrest of the activists, remembering that you were an activist when you were in school.
Yeah, I think that behind me. Yeah, what you just said with the a police officer,
right,
cannot take any legal action against anybody if it wrong is done to him.
Right.
Reason being that you are supposed to work. Assuming today you have a case in court,
right,
for civil matter, and you are supposed to go somewhere. Very important. You will not go. You have to make a choice. And to leave the job or leave the case you have in court. So it is done. If a police officer has a matter, civil matter, before you go to court will be by approval of the IG. The IG will not be aware the surplus officer has a case. So if you have a case, and the day the case will come up before my IG, that you will be put any special duty on that particular day.
Okay.
So that's why that case is there.
Okay.
For Sowore, the law is very clear. If somebody commits an offense, you take criminal action against him. If it's good the case, if he died, you charge him to court. If he's not, let him go. You're not supposed to keep an innocent person in detention unnecessarily.
Right.
The constitution gives a number of hours a person should stay in police custody until either he charged to court or released. In this particular case, my only case is if someone has not dead in the offense, they should let him go.
Right.
It's a Nigerian. But if you come to the field, they charge you to court.
Right.
And after you were charged to court, you will give bail condition. The bail condition will be given by the police. You give by the court. If any complaint to make, any protest to make, it's to the court for making this bail condition impossible for me to come to fulfill, to complete. Not the police. The police are not to do bail condition for a suspect or an accused person that have been charged to court. So I appreciate what the show they do, because I was there myself, and as a student, like you mentioned, I was an activist. I think I told somebody that maybe thank God I came to police, I could have in and out of jail.
Yeah, you would have been the one they were picking up.
Yeah, because as a student I never card.
Right.
As a student.
Right.
And the student who read those socialists, Che Guevara, if they have a right, you ask for it, nobody give it to you.
That's true.
To ask a right.
Right. Ask for your rights.
And if you feel a right, if you feel a right,
so please address Nigerians. Tell them these salient points. I forgot to mention to you that he has also written a book on security, surviving in the cities. He's very interested in the security of Nigerians. So please, let me just get his final take on thoughts. Direct them directly to Nigerians and tell them some things about enforcing your rights, as well as things about the security and the legality of position of Nigerians in society.
Yeah, if you have a right, like I said, if you have a right, you don't ask for it, nobody give it to you. And nobody wakes up from bed in the morning, takes his bath, they can give you a right if they ask for it. But you ask it within limits of legality. If you don't ask for a right, too much. There was a case that came up sometime, talking about people demonstration that they came up from somewhere in Kwara, that people can go on strike without police permit, blah 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 blah. When I was there, I said no, I will not go to break that law, because the limit of your right ends when you start. You don't have absolute limit. You cannot, if you say you can demonstrate, you cannot come and demonstrate to my house. There's a limit. So I said, that judgment has a flaw in it, because there may be a limit. So if you are demonstrating, there's a limit to it. So in as much as asking for a right, according to that the person by right has the right too. So you have a right too. So the right is not absolute. Right.
Okay, your rights must not infringe on the next person's own, because your right and your right stops where my privilege starts. So there's so much to learn. Thank you indeed, IGP. You have actually made sense of some of the things that did not, the dots and crossing the eyes that some of us just did not understand. And it's just been a wonderful and engaging period with you. Let me end by letting you know that this IGP, when he was on seat, had a junior, let's call him a junior officer by name Samuel Peter, who just disappeared from his duty. Then he was a traffic warden, and the IGP collected the signal and wrote and declared him AWOL, and also gave him the necessary punishment. Well, in the course of time, it also turned out that the man had migrated to America and wrote and explained that there was no sufficient training. He had to train on the bare floor. He was a boxer, and he was unable to do any training, unable to do anything. Not even a training mat was provided. In the end, he re-emerged as the Nigerian nightmare under the irrepressible Don King and won the title belt. the same IGP had the humility then to also rewrite to him and actually physically took him to the then president Yar'Adua and presented it to him, also presented the sportsman to him and gave him 2 steps level of promotion. That's just to show you he's a tough cop, but he's a benevolent cop. So it's been nice talking to the benevolent top cop, the former Inspector General of Police, the 13th Inspector General of Police, the former Chairman of the Police Service Commission. So many people rolled into one. Thank you very much for making sense of the press this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope you will come again very soon.
Anytime when we're here for you.
Right. It's a pleasure. And thank you, those of you who called. Network was not very good this morning, but for those of you who made it, we thank you for your brilliant contributions. I'm Mikky Attah saying have a beautiful Wednesday morning. Don't forget, stay on with KAFTAN Television, because in no short time you're going to have something on the economy today. Have a lovely day. God bless you. Bye-bye.